You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he goes me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, lots of blood and gold. Always wanting more, feeding from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it worth their bought in. You start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me.
Hi, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Well, this was going to be a live news recap, but quite honestly, some of this stuff I found out today, I decided to kind of change the direction of the show. Try to expose some stuff about the Trump administration, some of the messaging that they are putting out into the public that a lot of people are not picking up because these are not common dog whistles that they're using that normal everyday people would know about. Okay. 1 year ago today. Okay. I'm going to talk about this at the end of the show, but I just want to point out 1 year ago, not today. Okay. So 1 year and 3 days ago, Mike and I did an episode called Trump, the modern day Hitler, disturbing similarities exposed, where we looked at his inner circle, like Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, and we compared it to that of Adolf Hitler and his inner circle. Since I found out about Project 2025 2 years ago, I have been, I guess, obsessed with the fact that we have people that are let's just call it what it is. They are modern day Nazis. That's what they want to be. They are very proud of it. And I'm going to show you some of the message they are putting out amongst themselves on places like Twitter, True Social, and other right-wing platforms. Okay? We've called this for over a year now what it is. Okay? And this show that we did got 250 views. Okay? We've been screaming at the top of our lungs for other networks. I'm not going to name any, but we've sent video clips to bigger independent networks that they never showed before the election that could have helped. Like the time that J.D. Vance, the current vice president, shook the hand of a man that gave him a Nazi salute. If you don't believe me, let's rewatch the clip, because I don't think people are getting it through your heads what we're dealing with. Okay? We are not dealing with well, we are dealing with fascists, but they're not Christian. They're straight up Nazis, y'all. Okay? Elon Musk made it extremely clear when they won the election what they are. The entire room full of them, full of Republicans, cheered at the top of their lungs when they did it. They did not boo him. They cheered for him. And until we call these people what they are, we are never, ever going to win this fucking battle. So I need other people out there to understand what we're dealing with. We have Donald Trump's personal government tax-funded Gestapo running around in masks with AR-15s with silencers on them, picking people up from Walmart and Home Depot. Texas. Farms are completely shut down in Texas right now because the immigrant farm workers would rather just not get paid as opposed to ending up in one of Donald Trump's concentration camps. Because that's what they are, people. When you put a large concentration of people into a small area, and most MAGA are like, well, we're not putting them in gas chambers. Bro, do you think Adolf Hitler just one day took power and then the second day started gassing people? This shit was an evolution over almost a period of 2 decades. But nobody wants to see the parallels. Okay? First, let's start off. We're going to have some fun on the show too. Don't worry, I'm not going to be screaming the entire show. I have some dumb shit for you as well because, I mean, it's Trump. Literally the dumbest president in U.S. history with the most incompetent staff in U.S. history. Possible world history. We're going to have some fun too. But first, I wanted to show you guys the video I tried to make go viral so many times. So many times. This is undeniable. And I tried to get this video. I begged people to show this video that have platforms with millions of followers. Nobody played it but us. Okay? So we did our jobs. But a lot of other people failed at doing theirs because we could have prevented this from happening if we would have called it what it was from day one. There you go. There you go. Right there. There's JD Vance shaking his hand. I'll slow it down for you in case anybody is having vision problems at the moment. He's laughing. The guy threw the vice president at the time candidate for VP a straight up Hitler salute. JD Vance runs over and shakes his hand and then laughs like they're best freaking friends. Okay? We got to call it what it is. Again, we're never going to win this fight if we keep beating around the bush. Oh, well, there's similarity. No, there's not. At this point, there are no similarities. It is what it is. Stephen Miller today or yesterday came out allegedly and said that if it were up to him, there would only be 100 million people in the United States. That's the amount of white people. He just wants white people in the United States. They're straight up coming out and saying it. Okay, but we're going to get into that later in the show. Okay, I want to have some fun first. But I'm telling you, by the end of this show, if you're not convinced, then you know what? Maybe I'm just crazy. Because people have told me I'm crazy about this theory of mine, except for Mike, because he sees the similarities too. Because we're dealing with conspiracy theory people. And I think a lot of larger networks on the left are not trying to think like these people think. And we are. Okay? You have to try and seriously think. I hate to say it, but you got to dumb it down. You got to dumb it down to its simplest form. These people are just hateful freaking bigots that love the fact that Donald Trump is out there throwing out coded messages in reference to Adolf Hitler. And again, if you don't believe me, I'll show you here at the end of the show. But first, let's talk about the fact that Donald Trump is not even listening to his advisors anymore. That was actually what the show was going to be about. That's what I intended on finding out. But then I found out that Donald Trump's flagpole is exactly 88 feet tall. And that's what sent me down today's rabbit hole. And I'll explain what the 88 means later. Some of you probably already know where I'm getting at, but some of you are going to be in for a ride. And I know this sounds crazy. Like you can't just go to average everyday people that aren't following this stuff and go, oh my God, they're doing this and this and this. They're going to think we're nuts. Obviously, I don't care. If I have to look like a crazy person to call these people out and expose them for what it actually is before it's too late, then I'm going to. Call me crazy. I don't care. Because Mike and I have predicted this. All of this. We even predicted the Madison Square Garden rally. Mike and I showed the original footage way before from the 1930s Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden in New York City. We showed that footage and we even said if Donald Trump ever holds a rally in that stadium, it is an homage to that moment. And they did it. And then finally people are like, oh my God, maybe it is this. No, it's not maybe anymore. People just wake up, please wake up. Okay, so let's get into it a little bit here. But yeah, so like I was saying, Donald Trump has come out and just said that, sorry, let me make sure I'm looking at my comments, guys. I'm going to be hopping back and forth. I'm not trying to neglect you. Pamela said, keep preaching, Jeremy. I love how y'all are. Let me put your comments up on the screen here. All right, so let me first show the video of Donald Trump when he says it, because he's not listening to his advisors, his handpicked advisors. I'm pretty sure Pete Hegseth is not even up to date on what's going on in Iran. I'm pretty sure he's being iced out of the loop. Sucks to be him because he is going to be thrown under the bus hard for a lot of things. Tulsi Gabbard came out and said recently, not that long ago, that Iran doesn't have nukes and they're not even close to having nukes. Well, Donald Trump said that she is wrong because I'm pretty sure Donald Trump is getting all of his information directly from Netanyahu at this point. Okay, So she has come out and changed her tune. I'll play the clip first. This was from Fox News.
They didn't do that.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
Okay, so, well, excuse me, let me take a drink here because this is crazy. Not that long ago, again, she said, no nukes, not a chance. And now she is saying that Iran could produce nuclear weapons within weeks. Oh my God, how magical. And let's not forget that Israel has been saying that Iran's had nukes since like the 1990s, I think like 93. So they've been saying they're months, years, weeks, days away for 30 years. Israel's a problem. Israel is a problem. Their own people are getting fucked over so hard. So now, June 20th, that was yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard, director of national intelligence and also a Russian puppet, confirmed by Russia. I'm sorry, that's not defamation. That's actual Russian coming out and saying, yeah, she's one of ours. Stated that U.S. intelligence indicates Iran is close to completing a nuclear weapon and could assemble one in a matter of weeks to a few months if they choose to proceed. This is all propaganda to get, again, I'm pretty sure this is to do with Reese, because again, everything comes down to money with these people in Iran. Their land is very rich in natural resources, to include rare earth metals that we, as America, if Donald Trump wants to start manufacturing electronics in the United States, desperately would need. Again, Greenland, that was the play. He wanted the resources of Greenland. It had nothing to do with the people of Greenland. So yeah. So now they're trying to do it by force. And Donald Trump, what is he doing while the world is burning? Oh my God. Here he is off to his golf resort at Bedminster, starting World War III and then going to play a round of golf. Must be freaking nice. You fucking loser. And of course, now we have B-2 bombers positioning over Guam, or arriving in Guam. Yeah, they're mobilizing for something big. Nothing. This is going to be a negative outcome situation, no matter what. I'm surely starting to believe, watching MAGA Republicans and the Zionists come out. I'm pretty sure they want the end times. They want the end times. Ted Cruz recently said that, as I will get into it tomorrow, because that's what the whole episode is going to be about tomorrow. But Ted Cruz recently came out and said that as long as we protect Israel, no matter what, we will be blessed. That's what they're saying. They truly believe that the people of Israel, because they say it's in the Bible. I'm not a biblical scholar, but I'm pretty sure Israel's only like 74 years old, not a couple thousand. So again, they're misinterpreting the Bible like they always do. And they somehow think that as long as they protect Israel, even if the end times happen, they're okay. They're going to be blessed. I'm serious. This is what these people think. Again, you got to get into the heads of these people. You can't think rationally when you're dealing with irrational people. Does that make any sense? And this is why I get into trouble a lot on TikTok. And Brina says I get in trouble a lot. Yeah, my mouth is sometimes my own worst enemy. Actually, my head is, because I'm one of those people that has a brain that doesn't shut off. My brain is constantly running nonstop. So all of this information is just being computed at all times. I wish I could just be one of those people that didn't have an inner monologue and sit there and analyze everything that I saw throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it makes me good at what I do. I don't know, but we'll get into it. So yeah, Donald Trump starts World War III, starts sending a bunch of shit over to the Middle East, including bombers that are capable of dropping nuclear weapons. He is considering dropping a tactical nuke because he doesn't think the 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb is strong enough. So I'm pretty sure, again, he's getting all of his information from Netanyahu and, yes, Fox News. Okay. I'm just going to play a clip. This is why they're propaganda. This is why they're not a news network. I wish people would just realize that they're just not a news network. They're kind of like the National Enquirer, if those of you are old enough to remember magazines. Oh, they still have them out, I think, in the grocery stores. But yeah, National Enquirer was like, yeah, alien gets farmer's wife pregnant, like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Fox News is, but worse, because they are 100% complicit in helping getting Donald Trump elected. And I hope one day they're held accountable for it, but they are straight up state media. Just listen to the shit, because Obama recently came out and made a speech. So of course, Donald Trump didn't want to say anything. So he had his buddy Jesse Waters do it, because Jesse Waters, I'm surprised his mouth is not orange. His mouth is on Donald Trump's asshole so often.
Democrats want to know where the Messiah went, but it's not 2008 anymore. It's the golden age. If Barack wants to get back in the ring, he needs to step out of the faculty lounge and get real.
I'd like to hear President Obama making those points with Joe Rogan and Theo Von and like and bro pods, not with like academics on panels. Like that, I just think that he has a higher and better purpose in this moment.
You,
Outkick.com founder Clay Travis. So Clay, they want Barack Obama to get arrested by ICE and like chuck Molotov cocktails at him.
Jesse, here's a question. And I would love to hear Barack Obama answer this. He's a sports fan. He coached his daughters in basketball while he was president of the United States. I think a lot of dads and certainly a lot of moms respect that. I've coached my kids in virtually every sport at some point in time as I've been raising them. Why has Barack Obama never come out, if he cares so much about speaking truth, and said, hey, men who pretend to identify as women should not be able to win women's championships?
Of course, the transphobia had to come into play. Yes, let's pick on like the 0.0001% of collegiate athletes. Oh my God. But people are at home just constantly consuming this. And think about it, though. If this is because we consume everything. We at this show try and consume as much different types of media as we can. And it's one of the reasons we can have fun on the show, because there's so much insane stuff that you can actually laugh at. Honestly, we try and laugh so we don't scream, but it works. It works. Okay. So, but yeah, that's Jesse Waters and Fox News, AKA Trump state media, doing their thing, man, doing their thing. So, all right, this is so crazy, man. This is so crazy. It just gets worse. Oh, by the way, JD Vance visited LA and nobody gave a shit. He's literally like an NPC. You know what I mean? For those of you guys, I think I've mentioned that before, non-playable character. Just like a generic automated response kind of guy, but he's second in command. That's freaking terrifying. That's terrifying. Also, just real quick before we get into anything else, you might want to not drink Starbucks products anymore or consume Starbucks products, because they're apparently further aligning its menu with the MAGA initiative. Yes, MAGA, make asbestos healthy. Oh, by the way, you know who makes most of the asbestos in the world? Russia. Yeah, so they want to legalize asbestos. That's making America healthy again. Awesome. One of the most cancer-causing materials on the planet, and they're going to make it legal again. That's crazy. We are truly going backwards, y'all. We'll talk about that another time. I want to talk about Donald Trump today. Yeah, so now he's saying it's hard for Israel to stop the strikes now. I believe he said the same thing about when they started attacking Gaza. I believe he said that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Or he said it when in regards to Russia and Ukraine. It's hard for them to stop attacking another country now. Oh my God. So yeah, now Donald Trump, this is our leader. This is not being diplomatic, okay? This is being a coward. This is being an imbecile, a danger. The fact that he's so stupid, dementia-ridden, and has as much power as he does is truly the most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Dumb people should not have power like that. And I'm not a smart person, okay? I'm not educated. I'm just interested in stuff. I barely graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a good example, though. If you put your mind to something and focus, you know what I mean? You could actually learn a lot on your own. You don't have to get higher education, because I couldn't afford it. My family wasn't like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, again, okay, so Israel. Also, I didn't know this, but we are also funding Israel's universal health care. We, the American people, taxpayers, are funding Israel's free college. And we are also pro-lifers. You're going to love this one. Government-funded abortions. Where are my pro-lifers at on this one? You got crickets on this shit. You guys were bitching about government-funded abortions because of people on Medicaid or some shit like that. Like, you guys have been screaming to the heavens about this topic. Israel has free health care and we don't. And they have free health care and government-funded abortions because we pay for it. We give Israel billions of dollars a year. No questions asked, because they think, again, that if they protect Israel at all costs, even if the world ends, they're going to go to heaven. This will happen. They're religious extremists. They're no different than Hamas. They're no different in Al-Qaeda. Same difference. Al-Qaeda, Hamas, Zionists, MAGA Christians. Religious extremists. Okay? And religious extremists do extreme things. Man, I'm getting off on some freaking rants tonight, y'all. I'm telling you, we got 20 people in here now. Yeah. I think people are getting a little bit fed up with Israel. Not Israel, because the people are getting screwed. If you watch videos, they're fighting on who gets in the bunkers. There are people getting locked out of bunkers in Israel. Israelis. They're getting locked out of bunkers by their own people. You know what I'm saying? So the people of Israel have nothing to do with this. They're victims. I mean, don't get me wrong. Zionists are not the same as people that, what is it, Judaism? Yeah, I'm brain for it. Practice Judaism. You know what I'm saying? Not the same thing. Just like people that truly believe in the word of God and spreading the gospel, like truly though, like how Jesus lived, supposedly, according to them. Not the same as Christian nationalists. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to differentiate these groups, and we can't be called anti-Semitic for not supporting this. That's crazy. Like, I never understood that. But you say even the most remotely negative thing about Israel, and you're called an anti-Semite in this country. That's crazy. But Zionists are essentially the Nazis of Judaism, just like MAGA and Donald Trump are the Nazis of America, or the Nazis of Christianity. Okay? Again, I'm getting off topic. Damn you guys, getting me off topic. But we got some good shit, though. Let's get back to having some fun. All right. So Donald Trump, again, was asked about his move on reopening Alcatraz, which guards at Alcatraz said it would cost billions of dollars, or $8 billion. Like it would cost with a B to renovate it and get it up to code, but they don't care about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not they're going to spend money to renovate it and make it like they're just going to throw a bunch of people on the island. And Donald Trump thinks the sharks are going to get them, but no, seriously, nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz, is what he says. They asked him about it again, and his response was, "I was going to be. Maybe I should have been a movie maker. I don't." This is so dumb.
How did you decide to reopen Alcatraz? Can you walk us through that decision?
Did I say what?
To reopen Alcatraz, how will you use it? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I guess I was supposed to be a movie maker. We started with the movie making, and we'll end. I mean, it represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies. But It's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there. It housed the most violent criminals in the world, and nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz, and just represented something strong having to do with law and order. We need law and order in this country.
Yeah, says the person found liable for sexual assault and the guy who's an actual convicted felon. We need law and order in this country. When they say law and order, they really mean what they want. You know what I mean? They want to, like Stephen Miller says, just have white people in America. I don't see how they're going to pull that off. MAGA is under this misconception that all white people are together in this. They're going to be sorely disappointed. I mean, these people, come on, man. We far outnumber these idiots. Why are we standing for this? Why? Dude, these masked up freaking ICE agents are a bunch of freaking cowards. I've watched them get run out of community after community by just people standing there with their phones out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to be like, the Gestapo of Nazi Germany, but they don't have the fucking balls to do any of this shit. Okay. They're playing soldier. They probably go home and wank off to the fact that they just rounded up a bunch of brown people. It probably makes them aroused. Which is actually not surprising because according to Tucker Carlson recently, a lot of Republicans are gay. I'm not even kidding. I hate the fact that I'm agreeing with Tucker Carlson, but this dude is going scorched earth on the Republican Party. Here he is asking out of the blue, like he blindsides. I forget the other guy's name. Just watch this. This is hilarious.
Have you noticed that like a huge percentage of war-crazed Republican senators are secretly gay? What is that?
Are they?
Yeah. Like, what is the ones who are secret about it? I don't really know if you want people with like truly unsettled, dark personal lives with power. Do you?
No.
I did not add this part. I did not add that part. That was part of the TikTok video. I'm not taking credit for that one. But yeah, I mean the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie, Grinder during the RNC crashing multiple times. The numbers don't lie. We are dealing with, I think Donald Trump's gay. I think he is. Or at least bi. I do, because he's obsessed with men's bodies for some reason. It's weird. He even talked about Arnold Palmer's junk the one time. It's like, what? What? Why? Why? Why would you bring that up? I saw him in the locker. He's on like a horse. What? Why would you disclose that? Like, I don't want to know that. Nobody wants to know that. But speaking of golf, I guess this is a good segue. When Donald Trump's not busy trying to be a movie maker and reopen Alcatraz, which Hassan Piker was nice enough to point out that Escape from Alcatraz actually played on television the night before in Florida, the night before Donald Trump came out with his Alcatraz idea. That's why I'm saying this is so dangerous, because we're seriously dealing with a demented toddler with way too much power and way too much money. And he is correct. It wouldn't be so bad if he was a good person, but no, Jesus Christ. I would rather have George W. Bush, his dumbass, back over Donald Trump. I mean, he was horrible, but at least he wasn't this. Jesus Christ. And Donald Trump's like the third Republican president in a row to get us in a war with the Middle East. I watched my dad go off to one of these wars. Luckily, he came back. A lot of people did not come back. He went off the Desert Storm, which wasn't as big of a war because they stopped that right away. But, I mean, Iraq and Afghanistan was 20 years. 20 years. Do we really want to get involved in another 2-decade-long war in the Middle East that we're going to lose because we don't have competent leaders? And according to reports, Pete Hegseth, the guy's in charge of the military, is out of the loop. There's no way they're going to win a war. Donald Trump, I'm going to guess he will nuke somebody this year. Unless he chickens out like he always does. But at this point, I don't know. I think he's realizing that he is losing all power. The people have turned on him. The only people that are left are the core MAGAs. And we'll never, ever talk them out of freaking being MAGAs. So, like I always say, don't even waste your breath. Like, you want to see some fun shit? Watch me troll some MAGA comments on Facebook. Oh, I go hard on Facebook. My God, they're all over Facebook. Facebook's just as bad as Twitter. I just recently started posting on there again. My God, they're everywhere. Everywhere. And the shit they post is absolutely insane. Absolutely like bonkers certifiable. Like you should be in a padded room. Kind of crazy shit. Yeah, I agree with you, Fontucky. I'm worried. We're already in it. We're already in World War III. World War III has started because Donald Trump does not have the mental capacity to end it or negotiate a ceasefire or any kind of peaceful transition to this. We're in it. We just haven't dropped bombs yet. But they're positioning. They are positioning. They're sending troops. They're sending carrier fleets. They're sending B-2 bombers. Okay? They're not sending them for show. They are doing the bidding of Israel. I think everybody realizes it by now. You know what I mean? And then you got after Netanyahu who's committed genocide in Gaza and just ethnically cleansed the entire region. He wants to go on TV and whine and complain about, oh my God, Iran bombed a hospital. Really? Really? You're mad they bombed the hospital after you attacked them. They weren't doing shit to you. They weren't bothering you. I mean, at this point, are we even convinced that November 7th, 2023 wasn't a false flag operation? I know that sounds crazy, but Israel, very good at false flag operations. It's kind of their forte. Yeah, Andy, I'm on Twitter too, only for this show, though. I get a lot of my videos and clips and stuff like that from Twitter. It's a good source for media clips and stuff like that for the show, but I rarely post on it unless I'm calling Andrew Tate a pedophile or telling Donald Trump's son to shut the fuck up. That's usually all I post on Twitter. Other than that, I'm mostly on TikTok and here. So, yeah. All right. So we'll talk about the false flag thing in a minute, too, because that is a serious concern of a lot of people in the United States right now. And I'll tell you what that is here in a little bit. But so, again, Donald Trump went to play golf. And I want to show you how he plays golf. This is a real video. I thought it was fake and AI at first. But then multiple credible sources shared it. And then I even went further and slowed down his swing to 10% speed to see if this was like AI or anything like that. But it's real. But I'll show you the original clip of Donald Trump playing golf.
And now driving President Trump.
Oh my God, are you serious? He missed the ball. And then he picked it up and put it in his pocket and everybody's clapping like he hit it. But again, I heard it. I heard a ting, but there's a lot of golfers playing. Okay. So I slowed it down. All right. But real quick, I wanted to bring this comment back up. I did not know this, but the grift is just breathtaking, isn't it? Luxury suitcases. I'm sure they're gold. I'm sure they're gold too, right? Probably cost what, $4,700.45 or some shit. It's just, people are so pathetic. Anyway, through the magic of video editing, here is the same clip, only when he goes to swing, I slow it down to 10%. And what I was looking for was the shadow of the ball. That's what I was looking for. I'm so detail oriented with this shit. I was looking and see if he hit it, and then maybe somebody, like I thought it was AI, and somebody so I wanted to see if there was a shadow from the ball being hit, and they're not.
And now driving President Trump.
Ready, get set. Hi-ya! He missed the shit out of that ball. He must not have known somebody was filming him. But did you see all of them playing along? Like he swung and they're like, knowing damn well there's no ball in the air. Yo, there's a story of there's a guy that wrote a book on how Donald Trump's golf cheating. Did you know he has a specialized golf cart that's literally twice as fast almost than every other golf cart? So he could get there first to move the ball. I'm not even playing. Like most golf carts go like 18 miles an hour. He has one in particular that goes 30. Like, you can't even be honest about golf, dog. This guy is so pathetic. So pathetic. And he's won 38 club championships, according to him, or 36. A couple of them, actually a lot of them, he won without even playing around. He would call them and ask who shot what, who won. And they'd be like, oh, so-and-so shot a 75. And he'd be like, oh, well, I shot better than that today on a different course. And then they would put his name up there. That's how he wins. That's why none of his club championships are televised. Donald Trump is the biggest showman ever, and none of his golf tournaments have ever been televised. I think one of the golf tournaments, he was literally the only one playing. It's kind of hard to lose when you're the only one playing on the course. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, he's a decent golfer, but he's not. Like, they want us to think that he's just this magician that is perfect and great at everything. I blame The Apprentice. I truly blame The Apprentice. They got this entire country thinking he's a good businessman because they made him look like a good businessman. Donald Trump was a complete failure propped up by Russian money until The Apprentice came along. Thanks a lot. I hold you responsible for this. Oh my God. Yeah, he's dying for that green jacket like Shooter McGavin. So, all right. So let's get down to really what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. And that is they're not even throwing out subtle hits at this point. But if you don't look for these, you're not going to know what they mean. Okay. And if you saw the thumbnail for the show, it has the number 1488 on it. That is a very specific code that neo-Nazis use online. Okay. And it is 100% undeniably a Adolf Hitler thing. Okay. If you don't believe me, you can look it up on Wikipedia. Okay. Just look up, what does 1488 mean? Okay. So the 14 words, let me put it on the screen for you. The 14 words, also abbreviated 14 or 1488. They also use the numbers 88 for the 88 precepts. Okay. The primary slogan in the 14 words is, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. Followed by a secondary slogan, because the beauty of the white Aryan woman must not perish from earth. Again, Stephen Miller wants only white people in America. Donald Trump's flagpole is 88 feet tall. Exactly. And we're just scratching the surface. Okay. And just so we know what the history of this is. Okay. The two slogans were coined prior to, what's this guy's name? Eden Lane. He was an American domestic terrorist. I don't know much about this guy, actually. So the two slogans were coined prior to Lane being sentenced to 190 years in federal prison for planning and abetting the assassination of the Jewish talk show host Alan Berg, who was murdered by another member of the group in June 1984. They were popularized heavily after Lane's imprisonment. Slogans publicized through print company 14 Word Press, founded in St. Maries, Idaho in 1995 by Lane's wife. Lane used the 1488 numerical coding extensively throughout his spiritual, political, religious, esoteric philosophical tracts, notably in his 88 Precepts Manifesto. Okay, you guys starting to see the connections here? Let's go. According to Southern Poverty Law Center, inspiration for the 14 words are derived from passages in Adolf Hitler's autobiographical Mein Kampf. The 14 words have prominently, oh, Jesus Christ, I always get tongue-tied sometimes, used by neo-Nazis, white power skinheads, certain white nationalists, and the alt-right. 88 is being used as shorthand for Heil Hitler, H being the 8th letter of the alphabet. Nazism with America as being part of the Zionist conspiracy. So it's kind of all tying together. See where I'm getting at here? So let's keep going because it gets worse. So Trump, I wanted to find out like exactly how many times he's referenced this. And you could go on Twitter right now and just type in Trump 88 and you can see all kinds of posts of people on Twitter posting about how these people are insane, that they are Nazis. So let's go. Again, flagpoles 88 feet tall. I have videos of Donald Trump throwing out the number 88 quite frequently because I'm pretty sure his dementia-ridden brain at this point just remembers that number when he needs to come up with a big number. Just for example, he was talking about, I'm pretty sure he was talking about Elon Musk, but he was talking about a friend of his who got a fat guy shot, he called it. But just listen to the number he uses and why $88. Why? Okay. They're literally throwing it in our face at this point.
To London, and he bought this
Ozempic, Wegovy, one of those.
I guess, yeah, I'm not sure which one, but he bought one of them, maybe Ozempic, and he bought it, and he called me. He said, "Hey, strange thing happened. I just bought a drug, same company, same plant, same everything. Everything was the same. In one case, I paid in New York $1,300, and in London, I'm paying $88."
$88. Here's another video of him at his flagpole ceremony, which Russia, actually, I have a video of Russia making fun of him. They thought he was going to give this big speech, and then he came out and talked about this amazing flagpole. So Russia's literally laughing at us right now. It's pathetic. But anyway, when he was doing his press conference, he just happened to throw out another very specific number about tariffs.
Let's say there's rampant inflation, which there's none. You know what? There is a success. I got a call from Congress last night. "Sir, there's a problem." I said, "What is it?" "Money is pouring in. We don't know how to account for it." I said, "Check the tariffs. $88 billion came in from tariffs. No inflation. And it's going to get even more so. I know what I'm doing." So we have a stupid person, frankly, at the Fed.
Yeah, 88 billion. 88 billion. They're all right, so I understand you guys might think this is a little far-fetched. Okay. But if you are a Nazi in current day America, are you just going to run around saying it, or are you going to do it in a coded way? I mean, now they can run around and just say it. They are running around just saying Patriot Front, ICE. We're literally just running around our country now out in the open. But before this was deemed apparently acceptable by our government, you can't just run around saying that you support Adolf Hitler. Okay, so you have to do it in a coded way. Does it make sense? But anyway, Donald Trump has a very long history with the number 88. So in 2016, Trump released an endorsement letter signed by 88 retired military figures. In February 2016, Trump retweeted a Mussolini quote. Yep, there you go for that. In February 2018, he said, "We must secure the border and build a wall to make America safe again." It consists of 14 words. I know this is getting a little much here, but it goes on and on and on. Okay. What was the one he did? It was August 8th. I can't remember what exactly it was. Oh, now I'm going to forget mid-show. Of course I am. But just look up the number 88 if you haven't looked it up already and what it has to do with Nazi Germany and the neo-Nazi movement. It's very disturbing. They are out there, just out in the open now. I mean, after Elon Musk came out and just told the entire world on national television that we are now run by Nazis, they don't have to hide it anymore. But before that, they did. And if you want to send out a dog whistle, a stand back and stand by order, are you going to come out and just tell people, or are you going to send out these coded freaking, why are we even calling them dog whistles? Like, this is insane. Why are we even, this is why we should be on the streets every single day. I hope July 4th is the day we really tell Donald Trump and all of these people how we really feel about him. I really do. I really do. Because it's appropriate. It's the day that we broke away from the king. You know what I mean? So it's only appropriate that we do it again. But we have to send these people a message, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They have power now. They literally have power now. And this is what they believe in. Again, Mike and I did an episode about this a year ago, almost to the day, calling this out, and nobody listened. We showed JD Vance accepting a Nazi salute from a person at one of his campaign stops. For those of you, though, I'll play it again, because some of you guys that hopped on weren't here at the beginning of the show when I played it. But this is a video, again, that I tried to make go viral. But because we are small channels, nobody listens to us. We sent this to bigger channels. We did. They could have helped prevent this. This is JD Vance accepting a Nazi salute from a complete stranger. Yeah, if I was the aide working for them, I'd be a little confused about that too. Why did the vice president candidate just accept a Nazi salute? But it goes even further. Like Donald Trump Jr. throws out the number 88 all the time. On you see right here, Angus King is a fake independent who votes for Schumer 88% of the time. Okay, they're throwing it right out in our faces, guys. You know that lady, that racist lady that called a little kid the N-word, a little black kid the N-word? Yeah, look at how much a lot of people donated $88. Okay? I know I sound crazy. I get it. And this is very extreme. But Mike and I called this. We've been calling this from day one. And nobody listened. Okay? Nobody listened. Nobody gave a shit. We could have prevented the Fourth Reich if some of these bigger networks would have called it what it was from the beginning and not beat around the bush. Like, oh, Donald Trump's, he's saying Hitler kind of ish rhetoric. Oh my God, it's kind of similar. No, make America again and make great again. Make Germany great again. How much fucking more similar do you want it to be? This entire movement is based off of Adolf Hitler and the fucking Nazis. The entire thing. The immigration policy, the camps, the getting rid of federal funding, channeling money upwards. This is all Nazi 100%. If actually, honestly, Project 2025, if Adolf Hitler would have written like a step-by-step process on how he wanted to overthrow the government, it would have been exactly like Project 2025. I mean, they're hanging white nationalist flags from government buildings. That's happening. That's real. That's not propaganda. They're hanging Christian nationalist flags on government buildings. And Christian nationalist means white people. Okay? There are no other communities involved in Christian nationalism. Because for obvious reasons. It's insane. But again, I'm starting to feel like they want the end of times because they think they're going to heaven because they're protecting Israel. I'll show you a video tomorrow. It's going to blow your mind of how many Republicans will defend Israel with their dying breath. I have like a 2.5 minute long video that I found of nothing but just, and Democrats are just as bad. They're just not as outspoken about it. You know what I mean? But these religious zealots, they're all down with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that aren't this like crazy religious extremist types, like even the Democrats have taken money from Israel, so they're in their pocket. Maybe that's why, I don't know, the governor of Pennsylvania isn't addressing the fucking lawsuit regarding irregularities in the 2024 election in your fucking state, Josh Shapiro. Why are we not addressing this? That's real. That's in your face. I ain't heard a goddamn word out of you about it in your state. I voted for you. We elected you to fucking protect us from this, not to be complicit. Jesus Christ. That's what I'm saying. Democrats are probably half of them are just as bad because they've taken money from AIPAC. Okay, so they've funded this terrorist group, these Zionists. I'm glad I turned the ad revenue off for tonight because I would have had this video taken down so fast. You're not going to find this on you really got to dig because you're not going to find this shit on just your average Google search. Okay, you're going to have to put 2 and 2 together. Luckily, you guys have us. That's what we do. But yeah, I mean, it's always been in our face. Oh, here you go. Here is a influencer by the name of Milo. Yeah, I can't say his last name. Yeah, so here you go. Here's Steve Bannon is involved in this too, of course. He sent a payment to a Jewish journalist for $14.88. Again, it's all over the place. It's right in your face if you look for it. But they use it all the time. They use symbols like that. If you ever see anybody throwing a symbol up, they're not saying the number 3. They are saying white power. I just like to quote the song, "It's okay to punch Nazis." It's just the title of the song. I'm not saying to go out and do it. I just like that song. If you haven't heard the song, "It's Okay to Punch Nazis," you should go look at the song, "It's Okay to Punch Nazis." It's a good song. Yeah, okay, so do not get it twisted. These people are the truly most evil people that we will ever deal with in this country. This is like a 5-alarm fire. Red alert, DEFCON 1 or 5 or whatever the worst one. I think it's DEFCON 1. Seriously, we need to be... How do we stop this, though? That's, I guess, the big question. How the hell do we stop this? Sorry, I've been ignoring the comments. That's crazy. How do we stop this at this point? I don't even know. Donald Trump even posted a commercial during his campaign trail on his Truth Social feed that had Nazi symbolism in the background. Not a joke. He actually did. I believe he deleted it. Or no. I'm sorry. It wasn't Trump. I'm sorry. I am wrong. It was Ron DeSantis. My memory's a little foggy there, but yeah, it was Ron DeSantis. So they're all on board with it. This is true. This is what this is. And again, if we don't actually call it out for what it is, we're never going to defeat them. If we're in denial that we're going to be voting in 2 years, a year and a half, it's not going to happen. Do you think they went through all of this? Heritage Foundation spent 40 fucking years putting this together just to give it up in 2 years? Don't be naive. If there is an election, it's going to be so effed up that it's free and fair elections in America are over, guys. At least I can say that with confidence. Free and fair elections are over. But to me, and Mike and I have said this repeatedly, they have gone through way too much effort, way too much money just to hand this over when the people who obviously, because Donald Trump's approval ratings right now, even on immigration, are underwater. You know what I'm saying? So even we have to do something, though. Somebody has to do something. Somebody on the chain of command, military generals, please, one of y'all, somebody do something. Fuck. I don't want to live in a Nazi regime. My mother was born in fucking Nazi Germany. I don't want her to die in Nazi America. I have an obligation to fight this until I die or this is over with. I do it for my family. My dad served in 2 wars. My mom was born and orphaned as a result of Nazis. My grandmother, who adopted my mother, was forced sterilized by the Nazis because she had a bad leg. So she couldn't give birth. That's what they do. Forced sterilization to disabled people. That's coming. That's coming. What do you think that whole database that RFK Jr. was trying to build, what do you think that was about? Like, don't be naive and don't get it twisted. We have to treat these people as the evil Nazis that they are. We have to treat them accordingly. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to be like off the rails on this episode, but I had to get this shit off my chest. I had to get this shit off my chest because we literally have the dumbest person possible running this country who is putting flagpoles in the front and back of the White House that are specifically 88 feet tall for a reason. I'm surprised at this point he just didn't hang a goddamn World War II flag off of it. Pretty sure that's coming too. Don't be surprised if you see a new American flag one day that you're not gonna like. Because that's the end game, total control. We got Stephen Miller, Donald Trump's right-hand man, who he listens to, who may be actually in charge, running the show, wants only white people in America. He has come out and said it. If it were up to him, there would only be 100,000 people in America. They don't care. They don't care that crops are rotting in fields. They don't care they're ruining lives. Cruelty is the point. The Nazis killed 6 million Jews in 4 years. Okay? We have to stop this before it gets to that point. That shit didn't happen overnight. That happened over a period of 2 decades because nobody did anything about it. So there's got to be somebody within the chain of command that has the authority to do something about this. I don't know who. Military, y'all need to stand up to your goddamn oath. I'm sorry. You took an oath to defend us from these people. These are the domestic enemies. These are the terrorists. They are the enemy. They are. They're going to treat us like we're the enemy. Then we're going to treat them like the enemy. Get in that mindset because rough shit's about to come. You think it's bad now? Wait till they get real desperate. Wait till they get real desperate. Because the desperation is starting to show. But the more the desperate they get, the more extreme this shit's going to get. Okay? I'm honestly surprised that nobody's been killed yet by ICE during these protests or the cops. I'm surprised. It hasn't come to that yet. But if they keep pushing, shit's going to hit the fan, man. People are only going to put up with this shit for so long. The American people, if anything, don't like being told what to do. And most of us that have the ability to think for ourselves are quite resilient and ready to fight this fight for a very long time. I'm not going out like a bitch. I don't know how else to put it. You know what I mean? And I'm especially not going out to the likes of Donald Trump. Literally the American clown king. The clown makeup, the clown hair, the clown outfit, the golf cart, the clown car. Only he believes in everything that Adolf Hitler did. Their entire movement is based off it. Their entire movement is based off of Nazi Germany. And it's horrifying to think that that's what's America, it's what we're about now. Until the American people, I mean, we had 13 million roughly, I guess, in the streets. Last time, July 4th better be double, triple. We need more people in the streets than voted for Donald Trump. I know it's a big ask, but what other way to send a message is more 80 million people, 85 million people hit the streets on the same day We all take off of work. Well, July 4th is a holiday. None of us are working. We have no excuse not to be out in the streets at a protest. Last time there was over 2,000 protests nationwide. You can find one to go to. If you're not able to, though, please, we will be live streaming all of them. I'm going somewhere on July 4th. I have no idea where yet, but I'm going somewhere July 4th and live streaming again. So yeah. All right, I'm already at an hour, so I want to talk about one last thing, just kind of lead into tomorrow's show a little bit, and that is the fact that a lot of Americans are now worried about a false flag operation on United States soil. And a lot of them are worried about it because of this recent video that is circulating where Netanyahu seems to make a very odd statement.
It's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America
Doing a service to mankind. It's a battle against good and evil. America dead. First is Tel Aviv, then it's New York. I am terrified. And I've even pinned this to my freaking Twitter feed. My pinned tweet is, if America gets nuked, that it will 100% be because Donald Trump and Netanyahu planned this shit out. I don't care. Call me crazy. I'm worried about an attack on United States soil because they need support. They're going to... Okay. Conspiracy theory time. They attack United States soil. Blame it on Iran. Blame it on Islamic extremists. Okay, and we have to protect Israel because of the now they're attacking America too. Look, we were right the whole time. It's the only way they're going to get support to continue this war, because America's not down with this war in Iran. We weren't down with the war in Gaza. It wasn't a war; it was a slaughter. It was a slaughter, and I'm honestly not convinced at this point that the attack on Israel originally wasn't a false flag operation. Like I said, it's kind of Israel's forte. Just so you know what it is, a false flag operation is an act committed with the intent of disguising the actual source responsible and pinning blame on another party. The term false flag originated in the 16th century as an expression meaning an intentional misrepresentation of someone's allegiance. The term was originally used to describe a ruse in naval warfare whereby a vessel flew the flag of a neutral or enemy country to hide its true identity. Okay, this is an actual tactic used in warfare. And the one thing Israel is very good at, it's war. So again, a lot of people are worried, rightfully so, because again, our leader, Der Fuhrer, is doing this while the entire world falls apart. While he starts World War III, and MAGA, you sons of bitches, you're perfectly okay with having a civil war. You guys are all for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are all for that. Yeah, Brita 1995. Yeah. I don't be surprised, guys. Don't be surprised. But yeah, we have this idiot running the show, starting World War III, attacking Americans. And again, MAGA is perfectly happy with a civil war. They're okay with attacking your own people, which is sick. You're sick in the head. Sick in the head. And thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Sorry, I missed that there. Appreciate you. Yeah. Just, we have a long road ahead, and it's not going to be easy, guys. They wanted a civil war. They're okay with that part. But as soon as you go to an international war, now they're like, oh my God, we don't want to be in a forever war. We just want to attack other Americans that don't think or look like us. You dumb sons of bitches, man. You're truly sick. You are honestly truly sick. Your war fetish is honestly ridiculous. And it just kind of shows you how little bit of a man you are. These people are so pathetic, man. And they would never go out into a real battle. Dude, if bullets started really flying, I bet half of these people would piss themselves immediately. as soon as bullets start flying over their head. Half of them will probably have a heart attack. Well, actually, that probably would take care of it. That's 100%. So we're good. So yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. That's all I have for today. The next couple weeks are going to be insane, to say the least. I don't know what to expect. Again, I know this shit sounds extreme, but these are extreme times. We're dealing with religious extremists. So it is not far-fetched at this point to say that these people are truly looking to start the Fourth Reich and ethnically cleanse America as well. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, what's going to happen to all the people that are in the camps when they can't? I mean, there are already people sitting in their own filth for 2 weeks with no hygiene products and no change of clothes. What happens when they run out of food and just don't feel like feeding them anymore? They're just going to let them starve to death? Or are they going to build their own gas chambers? What's the next step? What is the next step? The Nazis started somewhere. It wasn't gas chambers right away. It was taking over power, centralizing power, attacking immigrants, going after the LGBTQ community, making sure you have complete power over the DOJ and the rest of the branches of government. This is exactly what this is. And other networks need to call this shit out. Okay? There are a few that have kind of beaten around the bush about it, but y'all need to stop. You guys need to stop and just say what it is. Say what it is. It's okay. But the more people that we convince that this is actually what this is, the better off we're going to be. And until then, we're screwed. So Mike and I will be back on tomorrow. That's all I have for today. Mike and I will be back on tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Wait, no, tomorrow's Sunday. We'll be back on at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, you fucking kidding me. Well, like I said earlier, World War III had already started. We just hadn't dropped any bombs yet. That didn't take long. What was that, 20 minutes ago? Yeah, World War III just started. World War III just started, guys, while we were talking. Fuck. All right. We'll be back on tomorrow to cover more of this shit. But yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm not paranoid. I just see it for what it is, and I'm calling it for what it is. And hopefully YouTube doesn't take this video down. Love you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to donate or help us out with our mission at this point, because it's more than just a show, it's more than just a movement. We have a mission at this point. If you guys want to help us out, we do have a GoFundMe set up. The link tree is in the description of this video. It's in our channel page. The top link is our GoFundMe, and you can donate. If you do, please know I love you very much. All of you guys that have supported us for all these months, almost 2 years now. We love you all, and we wouldn't be here without you. We're going to keep going, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. If anything, we're just going to get louder and more obnoxious. We may eventually get kicked off a couple platforms. YouTube is getting a little sketchy, so you guys might want to follow me over on Twitch as well. I think it's just Sergeant Nobody 77. I do all my gaming stuff on there too. So if you guys are into video games, I do all my gaming and stuff on Twitch and Kick. The YouTube is specifically for this stuff. I didn't want to mix the two on YouTube for some reason, whatever. But yeah, so if you want, you go over to Twitch, follow me as well. Yeah, we're trying to build that channel also. So I love you guys. I love all of you. You guys are amazing. Thanks for sticking with me through this episode. I know I sound like a crazy person sometimes, but again, if you guys go through our episodes for the last year and a half, Mike and I have called all of this, including the Madison Square Garden rally. We literally predicted that shit was going to happen. Yeah, YouTube kicks. They're not really happy with me right now either. Blue Sky is great. We need more live stream platforms. I wish Blue Sky would come out with a live streaming platform. That would be cool. But yeah, other than that, we're kind of screwed with what we got. Twitch isn't so bad though. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. East Coast time. We're going to do the all about Iran and Israel. Now we got a lot to talk about for sure. Love you guys. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.